Hey pedalers, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a bike comparison video. I know you guys absolutely love that. And today we're going to be comparing the Giant TCR Advanced Pro 1 disc made by Giant to Argon 18's Gallium Disc 2020 model. So without further ado, let's get right into this bike comparison. The reason why I started making these videos is because people would ask me to compare bikes for them to purchase, and I just thought it could help a lot more people if I made videos out of it. So I absolutely love it. I find it so satisfying when people message me saying, hey, your comparison really helped me decide which bike to get, and I'm really enjoying it. So I really do find that these videos do help people. So if you guys have any bike comparisons that you want me to do, that maybe you're debating or that someone you know is debating, leave it in the comment sections down below and I'll probably get around to doing it. Now, the one thing that I always stress on this channel is that if you guys do like these types of videos and actually want me to get the bikes in hand for me to test, all you guys really have to do is like the video so there's support on this channel and the videos being made, and also subscribe because that helps a lot. So if you guys are not familiar with the Giant TCR Advanced Pro 1 disc, I love this bike. I think it's such a good all-around race bike for 2021 in terms of value and price. Now, one thing I've noted recently, especially when doing this video, is that the price went from 4,300 USD to 4,500 USD, so an increase of 200 USD. Maybe too many people are buying it and they're like, slow down, we gotta make this. We need to profit a little bit more, potentially. I don't know, maybe there's, since more people, more demand, they can increase the price because there's more demand for it. So who knows, but the price now is 4,500 USD, but I still think the value you're getting is crazy. So if you guys aren't familiar, it has a carbon fiber frame and fork and seat post, aluminum handlebars and stem. Now it's a full 11-speed hydraulic Ultegra group set, which is really nice. I really do rate it. This is mechanical. Just want to specify that it's not Di2, it's not electronic, and it has a carbon fiber rims, which are the Giant SLR ones that come in 42 millimeters in depth. And the last thing that makes this bike a steal for the price is a dual-sided Giant Power Pro power meter crankset. So basically it's a 5236, so that's a semi-compact crank, and it has a dual-side power meter. So it's not single-sided, it's dual-sided for the low price. I know I say that, but for the good price of 4,500 USD. So I think this is such an underrated race bike, complete race bike that you don't have to piece things together. You don't really have to customize. You can literally walk into the store and walk out with a full-on race bike ready to go. Then again, like, even comment down this below, is racing back where you are? Because for me, it's not. And I just find that ironic because I see other sports events going on. And since cycling really isn't a contact sport, it's kind of baffling for it not to be back on. But it is what it is. Let's look at the Argon 18 disc. Argon 18 Gallium Disc 2020. Now, they have it on sale, this website. That's one thing I want to note in terms of also, like Argon 18, the one thing, I've known this with other companies. I hate when they don't put the price on like their main website, especially with the specs, because they always say, oh, find a retailer, and I just don't like that because it makes, even for customers, if I have a hard time, imagine a customer that's looking into buying an Argon 18 and they go on the website and like they have to like put their postal code, like it's a hassle. At least you have a good idea of the rough ballpark price of the bike other than you have to search it. So I end up searching it. I'm in Canada, so this price is in Canadian dollars. Now, we're going to use $4,750 and we'll convert it to USD. But the reason why we're not going to use the sale price is because we're comparing a 2020 bike to a 2021 bike, which isn't really fair. I couldn't find a 2021 version of the Argon 18 Gallium disc with the price. So we're going to go off its original price of 4,700 Canadian dollars, and we'll convert that to USD. And the conversion is 3,500 USD or 3,600 USD, give or take. So an additional cost of 900 to 1,000 USD for the Giant TCR Advanced Pro 1 disc. Follow along, I'm trying to say this as concise as I can. So there's a price difference of $1,000. So taking a look at the spec sheet, we seem to have a carbon fiber frame and fork and seat post. So very comparable to the Giant TCR Advanced Pro 1 disc in terms of the componentry of the frame and the components on top. Now the group set is an 11-speed Ultegra hydraulic group set mechanical. The only thing that I noticed was if you look at the shifters, these shifters seem to be smaller than the shifters that are seen on the hydraulic group set. So these are, I'm assuming, Ultegra R8000 shifters. And one thing I always complained about these shifters was that they were so bulky. And I'm used to the mechanical, like on the old 105 and Ultegra, that you had the thinner, which was a lot more ergonomic. But I just guess for the technology at the time, it just wasn't there. They had to make the reservoir for the hydraulics in the shifters, where on the Di2 versions of Ultegra hydraulic, it was a lot thinner. So funny, but Ultegra got the short end of that deal mechanical. Now, taking a look at the spec sheet, we can see that these shifters are not the regular R8000 Ultegra shifters. These are the R8020 shifters, which are different, so probably a lot more comfortable, so that's really good to see. And then in terms of everything else, if we look at the wheels, it's the Mavic Gallium Disc. I probably butchered that, but that is an aluminum wheel set that I did cross-verify on mech, so it does say aluminum for the material here. Now the crankset here is a compact crankset, meaning it's a 50-34, which is great for climbing, great for spinning, but if you are planning on racing, you gotta remember, even though you might not be racing, this might just be for leisure or just for recreational, these bikes are designed to be raced on. So, you know, if you did slightly move up, having a 52-36 semi-compact would be nice. Now, is it a deal breaker? Not by any stretch of the imagination. Having a compact crank, I had a blast on mine, but now running a semi-compact, I do see its benefits in terms of racing, especially if you got stronger. So this is one of my favorite parts of the videos, is when I actually give you the rationale of which bike I would go for. But I just want to specify some things, and I always like to say this going forward, especially if you're new to my channel. I definitely would say subscribe, because you do learn a lot of stuff about bikes and tech. So one thing I just want to note is that, you know, you can definitely find a good deal on either of these bikes. So in this situation, if we look at the Argon 18 Gallium Disc 2020, because it's a 2020 model, we're comparing it to a 2021 model, this one's on sale, and it's going for $950 Canadian less, which is around 1,300 USD savings. So definitely you can find sales on any bike. It just really depends on how much you look and how determined you are. But one thing I always like to stress also when I make these videos is that I personally am the type of rider that I want things to be simple. Now, is that to say I'm never going to make a custom bike or, you know, spec some things out and put stuff that I want on my bike? No, that doesn't mean that. But a lot of people coming to watch these videos are people that are brand new to the sport or just have a season or two under their belt. They're getting comfortable with all the tech and lingo and, you know, compatibility type stuff. They're getting into racing, and they just want to walk in and walk out with a bike and get the best value possible. At least that's how I look at things. That's how usually I make my purchases. Even now, I'm still always learning. You know, I'm always a cycling student when it comes to, you know, what things I can put on my bike and, you know, change things out. But I've yet to do that, and when I do, I'll be definitely making a video and explaining the process on this channel. So if you guys are into that, definitely subscribe. But I just want to specify that because the rationale is so important, because a lot of times, you know, people just, you know, make decisions without actually thinking through why they're making these decisions. So for me, even though the price difference is 1,000 USD, if you were to buy the Argon 18 Gallium Disc and, you know, after a while you wanted racing wheels or just a better functioning wheel, you know, definitely you could go with carbon. It's going to be lighter, more agile. Now, is it a deal breaker? Doesn't mean you can't ride. Like, this is a lot of repetition, but it's so important because, you know, I learned this like over 3-4 years of riding, is that aluminum is great for training, but in racing, where every second matters, or even fast group rides, I'm not going to lie to you, on the weekends when I have carbon rims on and everyone has carbon rims on, we roll faster, it feels better. So definitely carbon rims make a big difference, especially for racing. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to get dropped if you have aluminum. I'm just saying it makes the experience better. So if you do value that and you were to buy this bike and then upgrade it, you're looking at easily spending $900 to $1,000 more USD. So right there, that puts the bike at $4,500 USD, comparable at that point to the Giant TCR Advanced Pro 1 disc that comes stock with that. And then this one has a dual-sided power meter. So if you were to get that on this bike, you spend an additional $1,000 USD and you'd be at $5,500 USD. So in terms of value right out of the box, without having to touch anything, I think for the complete race bike, I would have to go with the Giant TCR Advanced Pro 1 disc when compared to the Argon 18 Gallium Disc. In terms of geometry, they're very similar. Then again, bike fit is always number one thing when it comes to comparing bikes. Always get a proper fit. And then other than that, I'd go with the Giant TCR Advanced Pro 1 disc just because it has better value, dual-sided power meter, and carbon rims right out of the box. So, you know, you're saving at that point $1,000 if you were to put those upgrades on the Argon 18 Gallium. But then again, test ride the bikes, decide what you want. If you don't want a power meter, if you don't want carbon rims and you're fine with aluminum and no power, then get the Argon 18 Gallium. I'm just telling you guys my thought process and my opinion. But I hope you guys do enjoy these comparisons. I'm going to get back to making them concise to the point, but it's just important that, you know, if you guys do like hearing these types of things in terms of like behind the scenes in terms of the bike industry, or just my experiences directly when it comes to buying a bike or dealing with a bike after it's been purchased and stuff like that, leave it in the comment section down below. Support the video, subscribe to the channel. Just it really motivates me and encourages me to make these videos, knowing that you guys really appreciate it and are well receiving it. So that about wraps it up. I don't want to take too much of your time. More videos to come. Leave some suggestions down below. I always read it. And until the next one, keep on pedaling.